YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another live stream, and we have the man of the hour back once again. The chemistry is out the roof. You guys enjoyed the last stream. Got up to 270 viewers. We were freaking out on live thinking that it was bots, but it was actual people. And man, 270 live viewers, man. And I really hope we can kill it this stream. But unfortunately, we already know this day was going to come since we found out about the news. But before we get into that, let you know, I gotta always let my man introduce himself. So go ahead and take it over.
What's up, y'all? Sanchez 405 here from On the Warpath. Y'all know how I do over there. Honest. Try to give you a cerebral approach to everything, historical standpoints, and all that good stuff. So, as always, Juan Gotti, I appreciate you having me on here, buddy. It was fun. The last two times we've done, what is this, the third time or fourth time? I've lost track,
I
but
think it's the third time.
yeah, it's the third time. So, we got the three-peat going on. So it was fun the last two times. So I know it's gonna be real exciting this time too.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry we gotta start on a note like this, but we got 15 in the stream already. So shout out to the 15 in the stream, guys. I know. It's tough, man, but we already know about the thing. The Redskins are retiring the name. And before we get any further, you guys know my stance on it. I made a video on it. Let's get on the Warpath stance about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure we already know because of the previous streams, but now that it actually happened and it sunk in that the name is being retired, what is your initial thoughts or your
Um, I mean it sucks, man. I'm not gonna be the first. I'll be the first one to tell you that it sucks that a team that I've grown up since I was a little kid watching, and suffered with, and the name, that some people find offensive, is now going to be a thing of the past here, in probably the next 2 weeks, and it's crazy. And I've told you this before. I've looked into this. I've researched it, and with a clear head and without emotions. I know why it needs to go. Does that mean I want it to go? No, but I know why it has to go. Folks that are saying, well, it's only offensive to a certain group of people. I'm like, if this was on the other hand, if you were in this same position, how would you react towards it? But it is what it is. It sucks. You have your Max Kellermans of the world who could give a damn less, excuse me, about what the Redskins name mean, rather than having a vendetta with Dan Snyder or Mike Florio. Those guys don't care about Native Americans and what their issues are. They're just a bunch of jerks trying to get on their bully pulpit and talk a bunch of mess for 2 hours to fill up a time of a bunch of nothingness. So, hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, man. Like you said, and before we get any further, we got my man coming on the stream. But I'm gonna get the ball rolling right quick with just me and you. But we got Pedro Schmidt joining us in a few minutes. But let's get the ball rolling with just us two for a second. Let's get into these comments, man. Let's get into it. We got 17 in the stream. Thousand subs with no videos. Shout out to 1,000 subs with no videos, man. He's younger than me. A lot of people say I know a lot about football, and I'm only 16, almost 17. And this guy is literally, I think, 10 or 11, and he knows his stuff. So shout out to 1,000 subs with no videos, man. Shout out to Clover 902, my boy Pedro, of course. He's about to come on here in a few minutes. 1,000 subs with no video says Redskins retire recreation today. Let me see. I hate the StreamYard comments. You know that because they always just go.
They're delayed.
Yeah. 1,000 subs. Nobody says hello, Juan Guardian on the Warpath. So shout out to
What's
you
up,
once
man?
again, man. He's coming a lot. Clover says Red Wolves Nation. That's what I'm saying. We need that, man. Really, we do. Shout out to Clover, man. Nicholas Reynolds. He says, "What's up, fellas?" Shout out to Nicholas, man. Lord T or Lord Toe. Hi, what's up? Dwayne Green, ACTR. AM Hunter, what's up, fellas? What's up? AM Hunter, the GOAT, man. Look
Yeah,
at the
he is.
profile picture. You know, we got to throw it up there. It's the best profile picture in the game. But shout out
Amen.
to AM Hunter. Let's see. 1,000 subs with no videos. Voice anticipating and said it sucks badly. Yeah, man, it really does.
It does.
Clover says, I feel like the new name will give the players a motivational edge.
Yeah, it could. It possibly could. It's a renewal of some sorts, and I think people get it. They misconceive it as that this team is gone away forever, like the history's gone away. Daryl Green has been on the record, and Daryl Green is the greatest Redskin of all time. Will always be the greatest Redskin because nobody's going to come close to touching him as far as being that long on that team. So he said that it was time to change the name, and I dare somebody make an enemy out of Daryl Green because I will fight somebody on that one.
Well, Asante Samuel clearly did. He tried it.
Yeah, that boy's a fool. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
win
man.
a Super Bowl or something. Don't choke in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. Right. But shout out to Brandon. Brandon, he says, what's up, guys? 1,000 subs with no video says, hell to the Redskins. I'm gonna never stop saying it. People are soft. HTTR for life. You're right, man. When we go to the games, whenever we're allowed to go back to the stadium, I'm still gonna wear my Redskins gear along with my Red Wolves gear. Oh, whatever the new name is gonna be. Hopefully
right.
Red Wolves. I'm gonna wear my new stuff, man. And shout out to Bill. I think I said that right. I don't know if I said that right. Bill, he says Washington Red Wolves. Dwayne Green says Red Wolves. AM Hunter says we could have went with the red. Oh my lord, there it goes scrolling again. We could have went with the Red Barons bombs. The cowgirl. Kobe 2 Goated says, what's up, Juan? What's up, Kobe? That's for you.
Yeah, well, pretty much probably. That's what I might do after this. Minus the second one. I might
I don't think it's that bad though. I don't think it's that bad, man. Because I don't see if he lost the Super Bowl or something like that. But it's just the name. Lord Toe says, rest in peace, the Redskins. And we're gonna get through these comments and then put my boy Pedro on with us because he's ready to rock and roll.
He's gonna show his face right once his name changed, right? I saw Ed Oliver. He got hip to it up in the comments from last week. So
he says, fellas, do I have to change my profile? Hey, do what you want. I'm personally saying you don't have to. But I mean, if you want to, since the new name and it's no longer logo, hey, do what you got to do. Lil Toe says, listen, bro, Sean Taylor is just as good. He's talking to you because you said Daryl Green is the GOAT of the Redskins. I'm assuming that's what
I saw Sean Taylor play. That was right around the prime when I was in middle school and high school. I ain't going to take that away from him. But Daryl Green, man, at the end of the day, he's got them Super Bowls, and no disrespect to Sean. Sean is the man, but the greatest of all time, that's Daryl Green. Generation, probably this current generation of Redskin fans, it's going to be Sean Taylor.
Right. I think, honestly, Sean Taylor, and even this is coming from other fan bases that had great safety, such as Avery and Engraven Vid said it himself. Sean Taylor, if he wouldn't have, lost his life to senseless violence, would have played his whole career, he would have been the greatest safety to touch this game.
Yeah,
better than Ed Reed, better than what Jamal Adams is going to be, and that's me not being able to see into the future, just being able to be the best safety to ever touch this game, man. And I'm really sad that his career, and not even just football related, but just his life got cut short. Casper Hill says, I'll be wearing my gear too, no doubt. Aaron says, unfortunately for the name changing, but it got to be the Red Wolves. So it seems like everyone is here for the Red Wolves. And let's get the man of the hour onto the stream. 2006 last time I checked. 2.6K strong. Subscribe, boy Pedro Schmidt. Welcome him to the stream, guys. Oh, I didn't click the button. Pedro.
Yo, what's up? And Warpath, I'm gonna show my face soon, okay? I promise.
Hey, I'm just feeling that propaganda that Yimmy's talking about on there when he comes in your streams.
Clover said, did you see the tweet by Scott Abram? I personally haven't. You can tell us about it if you haven't.
I saw it.
What was it about?
So I mean, it was just, I think he's talking about like the possible bad news that's going to happen to the Redskins this week. And what I personally think it is that, like they said, JP Finley tweeted, he was like, it's going to be a busy week, but it's not all going to be good. And he said it's going to be something besides a name change. What I personally think is that since Alex Santos and his assistant got fired on the same day, when, first of all, it's not just Alex Santos who got fired, his assistant along with him. And they said it was non-football related. So they must either they did something off the field or they were in some cheating scandal inside, which forced both of them to get fired. Because when does the assistant and boss really get fired at the same time? It's kind of weird. And at this time, right before the season, it's a very weird time to do it. So personally, I think it definitely has something to do with Alex Santos, maybe with the other guy, like Richard Mann or something.
Yeah.
But it's fishy. That's what all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's the same thing I got from that whole situation was that, and if I'm not mistaken, they were already on the chopping block come January, this past January anyway. And they went out and quickly got Don Warren to come up here to be the assistant director of player personnel. That's what I think it is. I think they're caught up in some crazy mess that the Redskins are trying to cover up or trying to iron out before it's leaked out to the media, because we be honest, there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on with the DC media and reporting stories out of Ashburn.
We better not get a draft pick penalty. That would suck.
I thought I heard something in it. Am I crazy, or did I read something about that on Twitter possibly that might have something to do along those lines?
That could have been me. I tweeted on Redskins today. I just said it. But also something interesting. Sorry, Juan. Go ahead. Is that Alex Santos was the head of personnel, and Richard Mann was the assistant. So they did hire Warren as the assistant. So they still have that. His boss is the spot is available, so they still could possibly hire someone before the season. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was just gonna say these comments that Dallas Subs with no video said, but honestly, I think he was supposed to have been gone 4 months ago. And now we have another reason to get rid of him, honestly. And what was scaring me last night, it was around what I would say 1 a.m. A lot of people were thinking it had something with Ron Rivera stepping down or something like that. I'm just like losing my mind. I'm thinking like, if that really is the case, man, I would literally, murk myself.
Or relocating.
But yeah, man. So with that being said, welcome Pedro onto the stream. And let's get to these comments that you guys have. 1,000 subs with no video says Montez Sweat 11 sacks. Matt I9 is 9. Chase Young 7.5. Jonathan Allen 7. Deron Payne 6 sacks. Ryan Kerrigan 6 sacks. Ruben Foster 3.5 sacks. Other 6 sacks. 56 sacks for us this year in total.
Yeah.
I think it'll be more than that, honestly. That's just
56. I mean, we'll see. It all has to do with health, right? Because if Chase, Montez, if both of them are healthy, Ryan Kerrigan, if everyone's healthy, we can get really 60 or close to 60 and lead the league. But there's always injuries, and especially with this team, hopefully we can get to that 56 to 60 range, but you absolutely never know. But yeah, I think Chase and Montez are going to get about the same amount of sacks. Both get that, 9 to 12 range. And yeah.
Right. What you got to say on the Warpath about that?
Yeah, I think Montez is going to have more than Chase, just because he's going to benefit from having a little bit more space to play with, because they're going to be worried about Chase. So I could see him in the 13 to 12 realm, and maybe Chase 9.5, 10 around there, just because I think he's the biggest player that'll benefit from having Chase Young on the team.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. We have something about W. I don't know how to say your last name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just call you W. But he says Pedro is like Wilson on Home Improvements. We never see his face.
It's coming. I know I've said it for a while, but
Clover says, when I first saw that tweet, I thought shoot Dan is moving the team to London. Why is
Oh God.
everybody literally are saying we can move the team to London? If we move the team to London, that's gonna be so much. That's gonna be good for Dan Snyder's pockets because we know how much people love football and American football in London. But literally, no more home games for us hometowners. We're literally losing our team. Just how the Baltimore, I think, what was it, the Colts?
Colts, yep.
They lost their team and just got their team robbed from them. So it's basically like, moving them to London. Like, come on, man. I don't see it.
Yeah.
And who would want, like, if you're a team or if you're a player, really, who would want to sign in London? Like, you're from US, you lived in the United States your whole life, and now you have to move everything away from your family and everything. Also, AM Hunter, Don Warren the guy we hired is the same. He was a tight end for us back in the day with the 3 Super Bowl wins. It's the same guy.
Yep, the Hog.
Right, yeah, exactly. Someone says, when are we gonna announce the name? That we don't know. I think that they already have the name made up. They just want to get it. They say it's it's what they say it was some
Trademarks.
Trademark issues. I think they're just trying to get the stitching for the logo, the new logo, so they can make some money. Put it on new clothing and stuff like that, so they can have it in time for the season. But it could very well be trademark issues. But that we don't know. 1,000 subs with no video says Montez Sweat, Scary Terry, Matt Ioannidis, and Brandon Sheriffs are Pro Bowlers next year. What do you guys think about that hot take?
Brandon Sheriff has to stay healthy. That's the first thing I'm really worried about. Who else did he say? I lost his
Terry.
Terry. I could see that. I can see Scary Terry. Montez. Yeah, I mean, I could see some of those guys. I don't know about Ioannidis because he's always disrespected in the league anyway. So
yeah, honestly,
I don't know about that one.
Since the Pro Bowl the Pro Bowl is a joke. I mean,
yeah,
it's all popular vote. I could honestly, Chase Young is so hyped up and such a beast that if he gets even 8 sacks, I think he's going to get the Pro Bowl just because of the votes. I have a question for you guys. It's a little bit off topic, but I did order a Chase Young jersey right after the draft, and now they're shipping me the current uniforms. Should I keep it, or should I try to get a refund and get the new ones?
That jersey gonna be worth a fortune. I'm telling you, you might as well keep that. If it's
a
Redskins Chase Young jersey, that joint is gonna be worth a fortune, and I would say 20 years from now, 10, 20 years from now. So
because it was only available 2 months.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're gonna get to the comments a little bit later, but now we got Pedro on here, so I have another voice. I want to read you guys to what Dwayne Haskins responded into the comment section. I have it pulled up here. So we know how active Dwayne is on Instagram, but so a guy posted on Instagram and said he's a Giants fan, but because he made that tweet earlier, says I'm from the DMV, I've been a Redskins fan. We all know the tweet that he made earlier since the name has been changed. And then someone responded, says no, not at all. He's from the DMV, but was a Giants fan his whole life, and he was mad AF when they took Daniel Jones instead of him in the draft. Do your research next time. He says it was pretty well known he has been a Giants fan and they wanted to draft him. And then he says he deleted his comment. And then Dwayne Haskins sees all this and responded. I'm laughing at it now. He says, let me set the record straight for you a-holes like you. I was a fan of Eli Manning and Tiki Barber. I was 14 when I moved to the DMV, or at 15. And as a true fan of football and was a fan of the Washington Redskins in my teenage years. No one wanted to play in Jersey anyway. Now move on with your life.
That was New York Giants. They ain't nothing but a bunch of chumps anyway. If you look at Knicks fans and Rangers fans and all of them, Yankees or Mets, they're all entitled little babies anyway. Even if you take the Yankees out of the equations, none of those teams have won anything in like the last 30 years. So they think they're God's gift to the world. So good for Dwayne. I hate that he gets on social media, but he could be Jack Del Rio on social media. I'm just glad that he put that dude in his place.
Man, yeah, I agree with On the Warp, man. I hate Giants fans. They are any chance they get. Like it just pisses me off. It's like it's debut bias, right? Because they were all caught up in their feelings that they didn't draft Dwayne Haskins, and then Daniel Jones goes out there his first week that he played against Tampa Bay, went out there, balled out. They did not expect that at all. He balled out. They won, and everyone started hyping him up just because of the debut game. And if you look at Haskins, same exact thing. It's just the opposite because Haskins' first game wasn't surrounded with anyone. Played his first threw 3 interceptions in that game, and everyone points to that game. Oh, Dwayne Haskins sucks. Dwayne Haskins threw 7 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. When in reality, he threw 7 touchdowns and 3 interceptions as a starter. But Giants fans just want to point out that he threw 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. It just gets me mad.
Right, yeah, definitely for sure. And shout out to Skins fan all day, man. That's really the OG of the Redskins.
Yep.
Yeah, he is the
And
Godfather.
he was the president of the Redskins nation, so now he's gonna be Red Wolves all day. Red Wolves fan all day.
Yeah,
Wolves fan. That's gonna be so. Hey, I'm intrigued to see what his new name is gonna be actually. But we got a question from Clover. He says, "Which fans are worse, Giants or Eagles?" Before we answer that, I don't know if it was Chief, but someone said that Eagles fans broke his leg. I don't know if it was Chief, but they said an Eagles fan broke a Redskins fan's leg, and we know Eagles fans did something with Sean Taylor's casket or whatever. And we know they're really terrible. But as far as on-field play, I would have to go with Giants fans just because they're bragging about nothing. But if you want to just say in general, I would go with Eagles just because how disrespectful they are towards our team.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree with you. My thing is like in person, it's totally different than behind the computer. In person, for me, Eagles fans are terrible. Like you can't go to an Eagles game in Philly with the Redskins jersey. Like you can't do that. You go to a Giants game, though, you can do that. But on Twitter, it's just like Giants fans are absolutely so toxic. Like Eagles fans are just more like a little bit like delusional, saying that like Carson Wentz is a top quarterback in the NFL. Some of them say that, but they really don't try to like attack necessarily as much as Giants fans. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. I agree with you 110%. Both of you. Philadelphia fans are obnoxious. They are they're probably pretty much some of the most classless fans, sports fans they are really. Anytime you think about like in the 70s, they beat up Santa Claus, they beat up Chief Z before. I mean, they had a courtroom at Veterans Stadium because these guys would get out of hand and act a fool. And then they don't, like I said, the same way. They don't win a lot, but they're the Eagles fan. That was the worst thing in the world when they won the Super Bowl because one, you had to root for the Patriots, and that's awful to begin with because what if you hate Philadelphia, you got to hate Boston too if you're a DC sports fan. So the fact of that and those, they're just so obnoxious. Anytime you go and talk to them, they just because they've won or they've been successful, and Carson Wentz, when he's healthy, he barely beats teams, so it is what it is.
Yeah, man, I agree, but let me be unbiased and let me take off my Washington sports fan, for a second, and just be a real NFL fan and lay it down. Carson Wentz is a top quarterback in NFL when he's healthy. Let's just be real. Let's be honest. I mean, the guy took his team to the playoffs literally last year with practice squad receivers. And I know here it comes. Well, he beat up secondaries down the stretch. Let's be real. If he never got hurt versus, I think, was it Seattle? They would have won the game versus Seattle. I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
As much as I hate the Eagles, they're a really good team. Carson Wentz is a top 5, top 10 quarterback when healthy. Let's be honest. Now the Cowboys, on the other hand, Giants, on the other hand, then that's more I'll speak because Dak Prescott, he they made a whole compilation on Dak Prescott folding when he plays good teams, the Patriots, the Packers, stuff like that. So let's get to these comments. 1,000 subs on no video says Giants fans says that Ron Rivera is trash and Joe Judge is the real deal, and they say Andrew Thomas will lock up Chase Young. Giants fans are delusional and crazy. And before we talk about that, they just what blows me about Giants fans, they're bragging so much about a high school clip of Andrew Thomas beating up on Chase Young. A high school clip. Tell them do that now. Literally a high school clip. In high school, who dominates more? Let's be real. Offensive linemen is going to dominate more because they're obviously huge in high school. tell him to do that match now, and I guarantee you the outcome will be very, very different.
We'll see
So
whatever week it is. We'll see.
I think I don't know. I know we play them in a 2 week span. I know we
Yeah,
play.
it's like I think it's like we play them and then I think we have our bye and then we have it again, something like that.
Yeah, so if it's that, then it's week 7, and then it's a bye, then week 9. So
It might be. I'll pull up the schedule real quick.
yeah, I think it's week 7 because week 8 is our bye week, and then week 9 is where we play them again. I think at the Meadowlands. I could be mistaken. I think it's opposite. Giants fans also think Jones is the next Tom Brady. he looks like Eli Manning but plays like Peyton Manning. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sit here and hate on Daniel Jones because he's really gonna be good, honestly.
Mhm.
But I just think Haskins is gonna be way much better. He just has the swagger, he has the, and now I can say he has the mobility more than Daniel Jones. I mean, the dude literally dropped 25 pounds. We made a video, said he was 218. He is now 216 and dropping. So who knows what he's gonna be at by the start of the season? I mean, Lamar Jackson is 200 pounds. So I'm not saying he's going to be as fast as him or get down to him, but we don't know what this guy's going to be at the start of the season. And then considering the fact that he's losing all his weight now, when the season starts, him being more active, practice and games, he could probably continue to drop weight on season. So we don't know where this guy's weight is taking. I'm just happy that this dude is working his tail off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my take on Daniel Jones and Haskins, like the comparison, I think Jones has a higher floor, but I think Haskins has a way higher ceiling. Like, I think Daniel Jones, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think he's going to be a decent quarterback, average for most of his career, in a few years where he makes a Pro Bowl, a couple years, and you can win with that type of quarterback. You look at Eli Manning, who was an average quarterback most of his career, some years below average, some years above average, and he won 2 Super Bowls. So I think Daniel Jones is going to be a solid quarterback, but I just think Haskins, if he can keep working and I think he can be a top 10 quarterback for a few years and be a perennial Pro Bowler if he just keeps on putting in the work and we surround him with the right pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 110%. You look at the tape of Daniel Jones at Duke. He really didn't do anything. He was subpar at best at times, and this is in the lowly ACC when you have a declining Virginia Tech, and North Carolina wasn't good during those times either, and they only really had to play Clemson. Dwayne Haskins, smaller sample size, but went up against some of the top teams in the nation, beating Michigan, beating Wisconsin, all those guys. And, I just think that he is, with his smaller sample size, he's just had a more quality of an opponent than Daniel Jones has. Yeah, Daniel Jones just has more reps.
Totally.
Well, yeah. He said Jones had no help at Duke. To be fair, I mean that's his fault. Why did he go to Duke?
Zero-star recruit. But also, like, the great thing that I love about Haskins, even though like he didn't play amazing last year, if you look at he only started 1 year at college, and in that year of college, he consistently got better to the point at the end of the season where he was, I can't remember exactly, but 3rd in Heisman voting, had a great year. An exact same thing going into the preseason, week 1 against the Browns, terrible. I think it was 3 picks, terrible. And then he consistently got better. I think he threw a touchdown against the Bengals, threw a touchdown against the Ravens, could have had more, but Cam Sims dropped the ball a bunch. And then you keep on going, and I think it was week 4 against the Giants, played terrible. Same thing against the Vikings, but then once he started, he slowly got better, which was really, really encouraging. So I think by the end of this season, he could be playing really, really, really good football.
Hey, Juan.
Yeah.
Hey, can Skins fan come on here? He said he wanted to talk to us.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. I seen a comment, but I didn't want to put it all out, and I wanted to send it to him on Twitter or something. You can send it out to
I can text him the link if that's cool with you.
Oh yeah, that for sure. Of course, okay. Man. I want to ask him personally what his new name is going to be anyway. But let's get to
Red Tails fan all day.
It's gonna take some time to get used to. Whatever it is.
Yeah,
I just hope they don't do him dirty, man. I hope it's not nothing Monuments fan all day. Like I
Yeah.
hope they don't do him dirty, man. He deserves
Right.
to have a great name. But let's get to these. As a matter of fact, let me show you guys these unis I just seen. Oh wait, like hit
Let's
up,
see.
please. Come on.
Yeah, they won't focus.
Back up. Come on, man. I put up on the computer. Matter of fact, I'll just put up on the computer.
I just need this to be over with. I cannot just give us a name, you know. Hopefully it's it's a decent name, but I think with time we'll all get used to it. I mean, there's teams in the NFL that their names are terrible, but the fans just get used to it. And I think logo will make it better if you got a good logo, and also the uniforms. Hopefully the uniforms are pretty nice, because I do not want like the Rams unis. You know what I mean? Like those were terrible.
Wait,
I
so
don't
what
want
do
no
you
black
said?
on blacks.
You said its teams are terrible. What teams do you think have terrible names? Like if you had to pick a couple,
I mean, not necessarily terrible, but just like I don't know,
like
like
some that stand out
just
really.
like Jets. Like what's like? There's a couple. I mean, it's hard to think. Jets. I mean, Giants is kind of a stupid name in my opinion. Like Red Wolves would be my preferred option though. Anything else is fine. I'm okay with Warriors. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Red Tails, I really like the story behind it. I just don't like the how it sounds. Like you like I'm gonna watch the Tails game today, or
Oh
people
God.
saying, "Oh, you got your tail spanked." You guys know what that
Ugh.
all that stuff, like the picture.
Oh, we
Ooh, those
spanked
look
your
Oh,
nice.
tail.
those
We
are nice.
spanked your tail. Stuff like
I
that.
don't
Oh
like
yeah.
the logo that much, but the uniform looks really. I mean, the logo looks okay.
Nah, I mean, because they're trying to get the wolves and then the monument. I see what they're
Yeah,
trying to do here, but I'm more of a fan of just go all wolf with it. You have a wolf howling. You know, the biggest logo. I mean, the nicest logo I seen was the howling logo, and he was like a full moon. That is the one that I really seen that I really like the most as far as logos go.
it would probably
So
be an alternate uniform though, right? Like a color rush or something.
I mean, yeah, but you know, us as fans, or Skins fans, we really don't wear our color rush that much because we're always playing on the road if we do have a chance to. So we never really had, we never got to wear the yellows or something like that. I mean,
It's
unless we
because
get
of
They
Bruce.
didn't want it. Yeah, Bruce didn't want it. He called it "quote unquote" garish. So
Yeah.
yeah, like
What's
another
up,
reason
Skins
why
fan?
this team doesn't win. What's up?
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
Good, and you?
good, man. Hey,
Can't
I want to know
complain,
what that
man.
new name gonna be,
Can y'all
man.
hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can. I think it's a little.
Right now, it's question mark. It's a question mark. Right now,
Yeah,
my name's gonna be question mark fans all day.
yeah, man. I just really hope they don't do you dirty, man. Like I hope it's not the Washington Monuments or the Roosevelt fan all day. Like
Presidents,
I really hope they don't do you dirty, man. I really hope
Presidents fan all day.
I really hope it's not
Um,
nothing like that.
Today is a sad day, man. It really is. I was just sitting back, thinking about, the times and my first Super Bowl that I saw. How legit and how exciting it was. Just to see us Redskins, man. Celebrating and stuff like that. And now the name is no more. Um, I took a drove up to our stadium today. Um, there's a lot of people out there. A lot of people out there singing "Hail to the Redskins." Some people's out there crying. Um, I saw Red. What's his name? Red was it Road Warrior? Redskin
Mhm.
Road Warrior. What's his name?
Oh
I saw him up there.
yeah.
There's a lot of people out there, man. Still in there. A lot of people's in their feelings. Like I said, it's touching a lot of people more than what you can imagine. Like I said,
Hmm.
for them to attack us, to attack our team, nobody else, it sucks. Um,
Right, yeah. Right.
I wanted to stay up there, man, but I wanted to stay up there, bring a mattress, a cover, some blankets or whatever, sleep there, man. It just our name is gone, so it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, man. I understand. I understand, but it's just like I understand just because it's just like you have the Indians, you have the Seminoles, you have the Chiefs, you have people even or Native Americans. Sorry, come on my channel say I'm not even offended by the Redskins name. I'm offended by the Cowboys name because they're the people that killed my people. So you have the Cowboys names that's offensive to
Exactly.
some people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so many other names, and we're just the vocal point to get harassed, and we got our name changed. I mean, quite frankly, and I'm not saying no team deserves to get harassed, but if anything, it should literally be the Indians because I mean their name is the Cleveland Indians. They had a red faced Indian called Chief Wahoo as their logo. So if anything, they should be the ones that's really getting all the heat and not us. So it happened, and I'm sad it did, but I really think it couldn't have came at a better time. With all the change of the front office and the coaching staff, it couldn't have came at the right time. Now, if Bruce Allen was still in office and Daniel Snyder was still at his old self, then we changed the name, then it would be worse than what we're feeling right now. But I think we're gonna be good. I think the Red Wolves is just gonna be, if it is that name, I really think it's gonna be something good, man. I really do. I think it's gonna bring multiple Super Bowls to this new franchise. And like we said, it's
I
not
don't.
gonna get rid of the old stuff, man. It really not. It's not like all the
I
old
don't.
stuff.
I don't.
Go
I
ahead,
don't
man.
think y'all know. I don't think y'all know how serious this is for a lot of our fans. Like I said, I spoke to a lot of our fans today. Like I said, they was all, everybody was at the stadium, just out in the parking lot, talking, singing "Hail to the Redskins," people crying, hugging each other and stuff like that, taking pictures. I don't think y'all really know how this is affecting people. Like I said, it's affecting me also, but like I said, because I'm a diehard fan. I know just like you guys, y'all diehard fans. Just by
Yeah.
them taking it, just by them taking the name away from us, it's like something is being taken away from us,
Yeah.
and it's like we can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm-hmm.
like it's unfair. It's unfair. Like why our team is the one that's got to be getting targeted and nobody else. It's like it's not fair. You know,
Right.
Yeah,
it
because it's
it
like
bothers
Yeah.
it's
bothers
a,
me, man.
it's one of our last pieces of history from the Super Bowl winning teams, and now it's gone. Especially with the
Um,
fans that were alive during the Super Bowl wins, a lot of
exactly.
them are attached to it. I mean, for me
Mm-hmm.
and Juan, we haven't been really alive during a lot of success, but for you guys, definitely. I mean, yeah, me too. It's like it does suck. I wasn't too sad today because I kind of came to grips with it a while back. But on when it was announced, I think last Friday, I was really upset, man. It does suck.
Yeah.
And like I say, I had an opportunity to meet Chief. The Chief. The old man,
Chief
black
Yeah,
old
Z.
man used to wear. Yeah,
Chief
Chief
Yeah.
Z.
Z. I had an opportunity to meet him, to take pictures with him and everything. He's a cool guy. God rest his soul, but still, it just a lot of stuff with our name, man. It feels like we start from scratch. Like we got to start over. Um, because like I said, those Super Bowls are connected to the Redskins. You
Right.
Mm-hmm.
know, Washington Redskins.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
care what our name is going to be. Our name could be the Red Wolves. Our name could be the Red Tails or whatever, the Lily Pads or the Fly Swatters. I don't care what our name is going to be. Those Super Bowls is not connected to Washington. Those Super Bowls are connected to the Redskins. If y'all
Right.
understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like it's man, it's a personal thing. Like yesterday, I was good about it yesterday, but today it's like it's all sinking in now.
Right.
hmm
Right, yeah, for sure. And my dad, he's literally he's seen every Super Bowl. My dad's 51, and he literally said, and I'm gonna be doing this too when I get my kids when I get older. They're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm a Red Wolves fan." I'm gonna be like, "You mean the Redskins? We're the Redskins." I don't care whatever our name's gonna be. I'm still gonna wear my Redskins gear to the game. I'm still gonna call us the
All going
Redskins,
right.
whatever, because
Yeah.
we're the Redskins, man, and it's just not fair. Like we've been saying, if you're gonna make us change our name, make the Chiefs change their name, make the Indians change their
Exactly.
name. And then
Exactly.
Definitely.
someone
Yeah.
just said in the comment section, AM Hunter said 49ers, Vikings, Bucks, Raiders. Come on.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna make us change our name, you gotta be fair. And that should have been Daniel Snyder's stand. He should have fought against this. I know I'm not saying he didn't, but his main vocal point should have been, if you're gonna make me change my name, Roger Goodell and all these companies, make all the other racial slur names in NFL, because we strictly have to focus on NFL here.
Yeah.
or and make them change their name too. But he didn't do that. I'm not saying that he didn't fight, but Dan, I'm not calling him a wimp or anything, but he's just like
He's a wimp.
I ain't want to say it, but like he literally said it himself. He said he used to get bullied in high school, so he wasn't going to stand up for that name. Soon as all they had to say was, "Oh, we're pulling out money." Dude, you're a billionaire. You know how many other companies besides FedEx, companies that don't get that exposure that FedEx gets would love to be on the front of that building. Companies that local companies, Eastern Motors, they would literally Eastern Motors Stadium, Eastern Motors Field. They would love to be on the front of that stadium, man. But he doesn't have a heart like that, man. He doesn't really have that dog with that fight in him.
Yeah.
To
The thing that upsets me. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, and I said it on Saturday. I'm like, the fact that people trusted Dan Snyder to stick to his guns, it was amazing to me in the first place. Like you just said, Juan, he was picked on in high school. He, he basically, I start to think Bruce bullied him to keep him from getting fired and everything. But just to trust him to go out here and do the right thing. When has he ever done the right thing outside of maybe hiring Ron Rivera? And that remains to be seen right now. But in outside of Joe Gibbs too. But what has he done right in 20 years?
Yeah,
you can probably name it on one hand. You cannot trust this man to do the right thing. He couldn't even sell the team. Like people are like, hey, just sell us 20% of what you got, and you can be a minority owner. He couldn't do that.
Yeah.
So I mean, why are we trusting him now to do the right thing when he hasn't done it in 21 years of owning the team?
Yeah. The thing that upsets me the most, because I do understand the name can be offensive to Native Americans, and I'm totally fine if Native Americans speak up about it and they say that it's offensive. I definitely get it, because there's both sides of the story. Some of them think it's offensive and some of them are proud about it. But the people that are not Native American, that are speaking for the Native Americans, that kind of like Max Kellerman, for example, that have really never talked to them personally, it really gets me upset, because like my dad, he grew up actually near an Indian reservation, and like when we went there a couple years ago, he was meeting up with one of his friend who was Native American, and he didn't wear his Redskins shirt because he didn't know if it was going to be offensive. But then at that dinner, he was like, he asked him, and he was like, yeah, it's totally fine. I don't take offense to it at all. So I really think you got to ask them personally. And I don't like that other people are speaking up for them when they don't get to speak up for themselves, because I have not heard many at all get to speak up.
And Pedro, you talked about Max Kellerman, and he talked last week about he's been to many reservations and he's met with Native Americans and said that they don't really like the name. The name is offensive when he would call boxing matches. And to him, I would say the conditions on a lot of these reservations, if you look into it, the conditions are deplorable. So why are you even promoting boxing event on a Native American reservation, which is pretty much the ghetto for Native Americans. If you really want to be honest, if you really want to be honest about it, these reservations are ghettos. That's exactly what they are. It's some people might own the land, but they're federal lands that those folks were put on to live on. And people complain about these conditions. Native Americans complain about the conditions all the time. But you're going to go watch a fight, watch a boxing match, and then you're going to complain about a football team, and you're doing nothing for Native Americans to bring awareness to their issues. I mean, to me, that's what stabs me.
Right.
And all they do it for is views on ESPN. I mean, like, he doesn't, I guarantee you he's talked to some Native Americans that think that, or that are proud of it. But all he says that every single one I've talked to has said it's offensive. That's a lie. I'm sorry. Like, it's just, Max Kellerman he gets on my nerves sometimes, because something like that, you gotta let them speak for themselves. Like, if you get a direct quote or something like that. And he also said like the poll that they did was total BS. And hey, it might have been, but and he was like, they didn't do it scientifically. You have no idea how they did the poll. Like they did it behind the scenes, and he's just assuming stuff. Yeah, Max Kellerman, man. And he's a Giants fan, of course.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll tell you the thing. Oh, sorry, Juan.
No. Go ahead. I'll wait. Go ahead.
I'll tell you the thing about polls. You think about this. Polls are subjective to the audience that you select out and go and research. So if you were to go into the South, I'm just going to use this for example. Like if you were to go to Alabama and say, we did a national poll, but we only polled people in Alabama on who they think is going to be the next president, there's going to be a good chance that 80 to 20% of those people are going to vote Donald Trump over Joe Biden. That's just the makeup of the land. That's how Alabama's been for years. But you're going to call it a national poll. So I'm not saying that there's good in that poll that they did about 4 years ago, but they selected people. They knew what the Washington Post knew what they were doing. Cal Berkeley knew what they were doing when they were going out to find people who were against the name. So I mean, polls are just worth the paper that they're written on.
Right, yeah, for sure. And let me get to these two donations right here. PI on P's. P says HTTR for life. Thank you for the $4 donation, the $4.99. And shout out to I scrolled past it. Shout out to Meryl Garrett's $5 donation. She says Ryan Kerrigan won't be able to break the sack record. It doesn't count under the new name.
Personally, I mean, it's still, in my opinion, I think it still counts. I mean, it isn't the same name, but so many teams have switched names before, and it still counts. And they're still in the same city. They still are the Washington-based team, even though they do play in Landover. But I think it'll still count. But what do you guys think?
I agree with you. I think that you can't take the history away from it, whether you change the name or not. I mean, you think about it. The New York Yankees used to be like the they were like the original Baltimore Orioles, but that history went with them. So I don't think you can scrub that. No matter, it's going to take time. Don't let me lessen like what Skins was talking about earlier. It's going to take time for this to heal, if it does heal. But the ultimate cure for everything is winning. That's at the end of the day, and that's something this team hasn't done in 21 years plus.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why it's not going to go away that easy. If we haven't won over 20 some plus years, just by us having a name change, it's not gonna heal just that fast. It's gonna take probably 20 some years for everybody to heal.
Hey, you can say that, but I guarantee you, consistent winning seasons and Super Bowls within that 20-year span, I guarantee you, people gonna be like, Washington Redskins, who? But I mean, if we continue to lose, you're definitely right. But I'm telling you, if we could counter this name change with wins and Super Bowl rings, nobody gonna care about the Redskins name change. I'm telling you. Yeah, man. It really is a sad day. But what I want to tell you guys here, I'm gonna start it off. But we're gonna talk about our best Redskins moment, whether that's recent or whenever you guys, and you can pick whatever one. I want you guys to dig deep. What is your best Redskins moment, memory, earliest memory, whatever, and your worst Redskins moment? I'm going to start it off. You can have more than one. I'm going to have two personally. My first best moment was 2012 when RG3 ran that 76-yard touchdown versus Minnesota. And then my second favorite or best moment, I should say, is when it's a toss-up. When we beat Dallas in 2012, shoot, I'll throw in three. Dallas in 2012,
yes, sir.
Playoffs, and everyone was just singing a fight song. That's when the stadium was packed with straight Redskins fans. It's not like that anymore. And then my third one will probably be the comeback against Tampa Bay, man. That 2015 season was so good. 2015-16 season was so good, man. And yeah, now to my worst, I have two worst ones. I literally have a picture of me crying when it happened. we blew that league versus the Saints. I think it was 2016, 17.
Oh my
We
God.
Yeah,
literally,
that was a bad one.
literally had the Saints killed. Hey, we let them come back. Then my second worst one is probably the we could have made a history as a division. NFC East could have had 3 NFC East teams making the playoffs. The Giants had nothing to play for, and
Oh,
Kirk Cousins could not lead us down the field. We would have made the
dude.
playoffs for 2 years in a row. Then Kirk throws a pick to Dominique Cromartie, literally crushed my soul. So
Yeah.
after giving mine, I'm gonna go with On the Warpath, then Skins fan, and then Pedro. So go ahead, take over the floor.
Okay.
So one of my favorite moments is when they beat Detroit at home in the playoffs. That when they won the division back in 1999, that was probably one of my favorite moments because that was the last home playoff game that they've won, and that was back in 1999. Anytime you beat Dallas for the playoffs, so 07 and 2012, those were exciting. That was an exciting time. And probably my worst moments are when they got shut out. They got shut out by the Giants one time. No, excuse me, not even a shutout. That Monday Night Massacre back in 2010 was absolute garbage, hot garbage, trash, no
Yes.
effort whatsoever by the team. Albert Hainsworth wasn't worth the ink that was written on his contract. Donovan McNabb, he was already a scrub coming in there. He was a scrub himself back in 09. And then he got that contract, and it was just straight up trash. From there, and they what was it, cardiovascular endurance against Detroit where he couldn't play. So that Monday Night Massacre, any Monday night game really that they've played has been atrocious. 09 against the Giants when they couldn't put anything together, and then they ran that swinging gate play. And the Giants almost took it back for a touchdown before halftime. That was, oh my gosh, that is just straight trash. But yeah, that's probably, and anytime they got shut out, that would be
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let Pedro go because he has to get over after this. So Pedro go, and then on Skins fan all day, you can go ahead go.
Okay, yeah. So I'm super young like you, Juan, but my favorite Redskins moment really was the whole 2012 year. It was so nice. Also 2018 when we beat Dallas, the Preston Smith forced fumble, and when at the end of the game, Dallas was so hyped they were going to get that field goal, and then it just I think it hit the post, right? It hit the post. And then my also the Tampa Bay game was amazing. That comeback was crazy. I was so pissed before halftime when they were losing, I think 24-0. And then my least favorite moment, like you said, that Giants game when DRC got that pick at the end when they had nothing to play for. And then also RG3, man, when he got injured, that was just in the playoffs after we were winning. It was like 14-0, and then he played hurt, and then he tore his ACL. And after that, man, everything for RG3 just went downhill. And that was just like so crushing because even at a super, super young age, I was like, man, that's a killer for him. Okay, guys, I got to head off. Thanks for having me on, Juan. See you on the Warpath and Skins fan all day.
Pedro.
Pedro.
Peace.
Yeah. Go ahead, Skins fan. I'm intrigued to see this one right here, man.
The happiest moment for me, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was 14 years old, I was sitting there watching our Super Bowl, our last Super Bowl. That was the happiest moment of my entire Redskins life. I'm telling you, that was an amazing game. Like I said, I was so happy. I cried, everything. Just tears of joy. And the worst thing, I'm gonna take what on the Warpath said was that massacre, that Monday Night Massacre. I've never got over that yet. Every time we play the Eagles, I have a fear that that's just going to happen again. Hold on for a minute, guys. Sean.
Okay, so I'm gonna get to the donations right here. We have Barrett Downing Dowling says I bought a Redskins shirt yesterday, so I don't give a bleep what they change. HTTR. Thanks for the $5 dono. Franklin Walker 9.99 says, "What's up, DMV fans? We've behind the 8 ball." And then Laundry, yeah, don't keep scrolling up, man. Laundry says, "Who do y'all think is gonna start, AGG or Harmon?" I've been saying I'm a fan of Harmon to start, but AGG working out with Haskins. I know you guys seen that one hand grab, man. I would take
Oh yeah.
whatever, AGG or Harmon, but I'm a fan of Harmon. You guys know that for sure, so I will go with Harmon.
I like both of them, to be honest with you. I just don't know. I got to see them both out on the field before I make my final decision on which one I prefer better.
Yeah, definitely for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just like I think like it hurts now, but once you have that one successful season and or Super Bowl win, which I'm crossing my fingers for, is soon, maybe this year, everything is just gonna be it's gonna be, I'm gonna say fixed, but it's just gonna make everything bittersweet, you know.
Yeah.
So 1,000 subs in no video says two worst when we lost to the wild card game. I was so hyped. Then we lost in 2015. It was heartbreaking in 2018-19 season. Yeah, 2015, same as 2012 playoff game. We started off hot.
Yep.
And then we just blew it. I don't know, I don't know what happened, but we blew it. And then AM Hunter says the epic Monday night game 48-47 loss and 83 versus the Packers classic shootout. Okay.
Ooh.
Ricky says Harmon had a bad one hand catch last year. Yeah, he did. I think he had multiple one hand catches. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah,
Harmon
he
is
has
that
his own
dude.
orbit.
Yeah,
he has his
that
own
dude.
orbit. Just
AG
throw it to him and he catches.
Yeah, man, but AGG, man, he is literally like he is long, man. Like he is literally 6'4". So we can't go wrong. But I can't wait for training camp to happen, man. And it's really gonna be we need it. We need it, man. And I honestly want to say this. I guarantee you, if none of this, virus thing would have happened, if sports would have continued, we wouldn't have changed our name. But people wanted to find something to talk about since they were losing viewership since there was no sports. So they had to pick something to pick on. They were like, "Oh, why not talk about the Redskins name?" So that's what led to the Redskins name change, in my opinion. I think if sports and life was normal right now, we wouldn't have changed our name. I don't think so. I don't think
That's
so.
a good point.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
Yeah, definitely for sure. Outlaw,
always talking. They always got to talk.
yeah. Outlaw King says the best memory I have the Redskins was watching the Redskins win the Super Bowl, and the worst memory was the Redskins losing against the Raiders in the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to see that, but I did see it on YouTube, and it was bad, man. They ran all over us. That Raiders Super Bowl I'm talking about, that is. And Gunner says I got to be at the Week 17 in 2015 Dallas when we smashed the Cowboys and Kurt dropped 21 on them in the first quarter.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I don't know what to say, man. I told you guys before it even happened. Wasn't gonna be prepared for this. That's why I'm stuttering. I'm speechless because it was no way to prepare for this day. And when the new name come out, I really hope it's not nothing bad, man. I really do.
Yeah.
So anything else you got to talk about, Skins fan, or on the Warpath as far as topics we can cover? Because as me, I freestyle all of these live streams. I don't write down anything. So any topics you got, any questions for me, you guys can take over, man. Honestly.
I will say this because I went to that Giants game at the end of the year, and I didn't think this would be the last. I didn't think that'd be the last time they would be the Redskins at home, and that's wow to me. That the fact that you inadvertently went to your team's last home game as the team that they've been known as for all of their history, pretty much. So I think that's crazy, man. And I'll never forget that, even though we got beat, but it was just a good moment to experience. And for some reason, I took it all in that day. So
you probably knew something we didn't. You said
No,
you
I
said
ain't know. I ain't know. Yeah, I guess subconsciously, or somebody was telling me something. Just sit here and enjoy it. Like we were on the post game show on Comcast and everything in the background. So that was a good time.
Yeah, man. 1,000 subs with no video says honorable mention when Kirk Cousins kneeled. That had me so mad. That's the audacity for sure. I don't know what was going on through his head to kneel, but that's Kirk, man. That's the guy Kirk, man. So yeah, man. W he says I remember when LeVar Arrington turned the light switch on Troy Aikman.
Yeah, yeah. And we got the crap beat out of us that game too. But
Yeah,
Troy
man.
got up. He didn't know he was in next week into his career.
Yeah, man. Oh, LeVar getting T4Y concussions and out the league. Yeah, that was a good game. Then he had announced the game on Fox Kills Me. So one thing that I wanted to talk about here was what is your I know you guys you can go all day, but if you had to narrow it down to just one old player, one current player, who is your favorite and who do you think, you know, was your worst players, I should say, also current and or old.
Oh, that's
I know who
oh, that's easy.
Do you want me
Oh,
to
that's
answer that one
easy.
for you? You want me to answer that
Yeah,
one for you?
you can answer for me, player.
I believe it was this guy that played at Tennessee. His
Oh
name
my
might have
God.
been his
Oh.
name might have been Heath Schuler.
Oh my goodness.
Did I hit the nail? Did I hit it? Did I hit the nail?
Oh, right on the head, brother. Yeah, that quarterback sucked.
But if you had, all right, let's we gotta balance it out. So we gotta get the good energies going back. So what's your best player or your favorite current and or past player if you had to pick one for each?
My pass will be it's a toss up. I got two from back in my era. I got two. Dale Green for one, Dale Green and Art Monk. Was my two favorite players back then. Now for today, I really don't have a favorite player, to be honest with you. I like the team as a whole. Nobody has really stand out just yet. But like I said, because they all still gelling together. But right now I don't really have a favorite player. That's still, the jury is still out on that.
Right. Yeah. What you guys say on the Warpath about that?
Okay, so where do I start out with these worst players? I
know what you're gonna say.
Oh, who am I gonna say? I'll let you answer for me this time. Who am I gonna say?
John Beck.
No.
Okay.
I know your second guess would have been good. Jeff George. I hated Jeff George. Oh God, I hated Jeff George with a passion. The dude was so arrogant. He, you thought he owned a chain of McDonald's, but he wasn't even good enough to be the fry cook. That's what Jeff George was.
Exactly.
He was hot garbage. Rod Gardner couldn't stand him. God, I mean, I could go on and on with some of these guys. I've had like Darryl Green is my favorite. Sean Taylor's one of my favorites too, just because of the talent that he could have been, the potential that he had. I guess currently, if you really want to call it current, I guess Kerrigan would be one. Just because he's been so consistent up until this season, and he started a lot and he showed up in games. I think that's good. And another guy I really like that I wish could have been right the whole time, LeVar Arrington. Like a lot of people don't talk about what LeVar Arrington was at that time. He was at the top of his game for about 3 or 4 years in the NFL. And then like him and Dale Lindsey didn't get along, who was the linebackers coach, and that kind of set him back for those couple of years. And then he shooted off to New York and tore his ACL on Monday Night Football and was never the same, man. So I like LeVar. I always liked the way he played with reckless abandonment.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man, I agree.
Yeah, definitely. Outlaw King 757 says I couldn't stand Jay Schrouder when he was with the Redskins or with played for the Redskins.
O.J. Schrader. That was one of Skins' boys.
No. He was before my time. I don't even know who that is. I'm not gonna
He's
give
the
him no
man who
recognition.
made. He's the man who made Doug Williams.
Man. I think we all can agree one of the worst players we ever had was Albert Hainsworth.
Yes.
Hey, he was the Josh Norman before Josh Norman. He literally robbed us without robbing us.
I mean, you could make a team over the last 20 years of the bad free agent pickups that the Redskins had in like the last 20 years. You could say Jeff George, Trung Candidate, Randall L. Even though he was there for a while, he never lived up that contract. Adam Archuleta.
Oh my goodness.
Good night. Who else was it on that team that was just trash? Like you said, Hainsworth.
Randall L wasn't that bad.
The galloping punt returner. All he did was jump. That's all he would do. He'd always jump like hop, hop, hop. It was like watching Frogger or something. But I mean, there were some bad guys that we picked up.
Exactly.
Deion Sanders still on payroll. Paul Richardson. Yes, Paul Richardson was trash. Yeah, he was garbage.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And we've been on here for an hour, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. But any last words?
I think you can go another hour.
Nah, man, I got to get to this baseball training, man. You know, I'm trying. You know, I gotta get right to the season, man. You know,
I think you got it in you, play. I think you got it in you. You can go another 2-3 hours.
Man, you know I would, man, but I'm trying. You know, Major Leagues, the Nationals calling me in a couple years. Nah, but
okay.
Next Monday, tune in. Of course, me and Sanchez Warpath will be back at it once again. And Skins fan gonna have more, and of course, if he wants to. So make sure you guys tune in. Any final words as far as anything with the Redskins about the fan base keeping their head up, or anything just that you want to talk about the name, whatever. What are your final words before we end the stream? I'm gonna go around with Skins fan first, then on the Warpath. And for me, you already know I'm gonna just rest my case. Sorry that it happened, but it happened. Nothing we can do about it. Time to move on. Hail to the Red Wolves, and hopefully that's the name.
You know what I'm saying? I just want all the fans out there, the really diehard fans that have been rolling with this team since birth or whatever. Just keep the love that you have for this team. Just keep the love that you have for the Redskins in your heart. I was listening to the Junkies this morning. Those bastards over there saying all this crap. A lot of people calling in pissed off, saying they're going to leave the team and root for somebody else in the NFC East or the Ravens and all that. If you really love this team, keep the love of this team in your heart. And even though we're still gonna be Washington, and we're not gonna be the Redskins no more, just keep the love and just go from there, man. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it's a tough day. It's a rough day, but we're gonna make it through it. The sun gonna rise tomorrow, and then hopefully, eventually, we be focused on football here. And you know, I look at it this way: a lot of our time has been spent over a certain amount of years, not only defending the play of this team, but defending the name of it. That's one less thing we don't have to do begrudgingly. I say that because I hate the fact that we have to do it, but I do think our best days are ahead of us. And, you know, I think this team is going to get right back on the rails, and I think they're going to get at it, and this is going to be a good squad to watch. I'll say it. That's my team right there in the background. It's always going to be my team, no matter what they evolve into, because you know what? At the end of the day, is a woman any different when they change their name when they get married to somebody? Nope, they just change. They're the same person. but they probably just got a little bit more money. I'm kidding, but hey, it's the same way. We just switched the ring on. We just took off one ring and we're putting on another one. So HCTR and
Right, baby. That's right. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, 2020 season will win a Super Bowl, and Dwayne Haskins is winning MVP. You know, I've been sitting on that for the longest, and I'm not shying away from that. So it will happen. Hell to the Redskins. Hell to the Red Wolves. Peace.
Peace out. The curse is broken. Peace.